Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Everybody welcome Juan the Kraken Adams.
Awesome.
Who's gonna beat down on Greg Hardy in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's the plan.
How's your training camp going?
It's going super smooth, man. Weight's low. I feel good, feel strong. Normally at this weight, I'm a little cranky and dehydrated, but we kept it low. Been on a pretty tight diet, keeping the cardio up and everything. So I'm feeling good.
Now I seen what was it, a week and a half ago? You weighed in at 280. You still had 15 pounds to cut. You still doing all right with the weight cut?
Yep.
How's the cardio?
Cardio feels good, man. My coaches say I'm moving good, say I'm looking light on my feet, feeling fast, feeling strong. So cardio shouldn't be an issue. Normally we do my water cut from 282, and so it's a cut to get to 282, and then we cut the water out after that. This time I'm walking around at 280 to 285, so it's not as big of a cut, not as harsh of a cut to get to the water cutting stage, and we're within striking distance. So, we can do this in a week. We've got 2 weeks to do it, so going to make fight week as easy as possible.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, your first 5 wins all came by knockout. But for everybody that doesn't know about your college career, tell us a little bit about your college career.
Right. So I wrestled collegiately. I had over 100 matches. Was Division I. I ended up doing a 5th year there. I got injured my junior year halfway through the season, so it gave me an extra year of eligibility. I was a 2-year team captain at Virginia Military Institute, which is a small Division I college, but it was still Division I. I placed at a lot of tournaments. I didn't win a whole lot. I think I won the All-Academy Championship once. But I placed, between 4th and 6th place at a lot of tournaments.
Well, with your wrestling background and your 5 wins coming by way of knockout, how do you think that gives you an advantage over Greg Hardy?
I think that, my opponents were actually there to fight. They weren't afraid of me. So I actually, got in there and had real fights as opposed to him going. It's really easy to beat up somebody that's afraid of you. So mentality-wise, I've been in, dog fights. I've been in wars in there, and he hasn't. He's never had that. So that gives me an advantage there. My fights have all lasted longer than his. So I've got the cardio advantage, and wrestling-wise, he's not demonstrated any real takedown defense. He hasn't really demonstrated an ability to get a takedown, so that really helps me. I feel like I've got the advantage everywhere in this one. I land more strikes per minute than he does. I have a higher volume than he does. I have a faster pace than he does.
Now, you're on record for calling him out. This is the fight that you wanted. Tell us what you feel about Greg Hardy and why you asked for this fight. And you don't have to hold back.
I feel that his entire career will be remembered as a publicity stunt. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him as a human. I don't like him as a fighter. I don't like the fact that he gets pushed and he's being promoted in the way he has when you have other people that have sacrificed so much and worked so hard to get there. So many other people have to get to the UFC by doing things right, by, not making mistakes in their career. And I feel like at every point in his life, he's made major mistakes, and he's capitalizing off of that and getting better opportunities than people that really do put in effort and really do try their hardest and have so much more respect for the sport and, just for people in general than he does. So I don't think he's a good human. I don't think he's a good fighter on top of all that. Like what it really boils down to is he's not a good person. He's not a good fighter, period. That's why I don't like him. And he's being treated as this, super athletic powerhouse, he couldn't. He fought Alan Crowder. He's supposed to be this powerhouse, super powerful striker. Alan Crowder just got knocked out in 10 seconds, and Greg Hardy got disqualified by throwing an illegal knee to him, and the knee didn't knock him out. So he's clearly not as strong or as powerful as people think he is, and his gas tank is, suspect at best.
And Greg Hardy's on record being quoted saying that he's the UFC version of Michael Jordan. Any thoughts on him saying he's the UFC version of Michael Jordan? Do you even consider him a real MMA fighter? It's obvious. I know you think he's a publicity stunt.
No. Yeah, if he develops, his career is still young. He could still develop into an MMA fighter for sure. Calling himself the MMA version of Michael Jordan just proves how delusional this guy is. He really believes his own hype. He believes that he's this good fighter, and he fails to realize that he's been set up against bums, man. Like he's stylistically set up to beat every opponent that he's had. And it's ridiculous, and it's a slap in the face to a lot of guys that sacrifice, or to a lot of other fighters that go out their entire career trying to fight the best competition available just to get noticed by the UFC, to get an opportunity that he's been given. And, they're trying to force this on us, and his management or whoever is handpicking his opponents. It's pretty sad, honestly. And for them to agree to fight me proves to me that they think I'm in that category. So he's stepping in there with a completely different beast, and calling himself the MMA version of Michael Jordan. I think he was referring to Michael Jordan's baseball career, not basketball.
I love it. Now, a question that a lot of UFC fans have are about UFC jitters. Are they real? Now, are you feeling more confident in the octagon than when you first stepped in?
Yeah. Yeah, they are real. My first fight, I had a lot of jitters. That was a real thing. My second fight, it wasn't so much jitters. I just, I didn't really show up mentally there. I was kind of out of it. It was more like showing up for a day of work that you don't want to be at. And what people fail to realize is it takes a lot to get to that level, right? And for me, it's all happened so fast, so far ahead of schedule, that I haven't even really had time to kind of reset and reevaluate my goals. For me, my goal was to get to the UFC. That was a goal that I thought was going to take, a year longer than what it did. So when I got there as quickly as I have, it's all been kind of a rush for me. And yeah, right now my goal now is to get to my next contract. I want to get to my next UFC contract. I want to re-sign with the UFC. So that's my immediate goal. I've reset, I've recalibrated. That's what I want to do. And a lot of people will get on here and say, my goal is to be a champ. My goal is to be this, that, and the other. Heavyweight, things are different, man. Heavyweight's a division where typically the older guys fare better. The champ right now is 40. The average age of the division, I think, is 32 or 33. I'm 27. I've got, even if I were to become a champ at the average age of the division, that's 5 years off, 5 years down the road. So that's not one of those goals that you can just say like, oh, I want to be the champion and then kind of half-heartedly pursue. That's got to be something you are 100% in on, and it requires a complete, change in lifestyle. You have to dedicate everything to it, and you have to put a lot of other things on hold for that. And when I'm ready to do that, I will. But for right now, like, I want to be a complete fighter. I want to be better as an MMA fighter, better as an athlete before I go and I commit myself to trying to become a champion. So right now, my goal is to become as complete of a fighter as I can be. And the only way to do that is to get in the octagon frequently, continually get in there, get over whatever jitters there are so that I can go in there, relax, and show my best performance each time. And when I feel that I'm doing that, that's when we'll start, trying to crack that top 10, trying to crack that top 15, trying to make a title run. But until I'm in there and I reach that level of comfort in the octagon, I'm not going to come out and commit to something like that. Obviously, yeah, everybody wants to be the guy. Everybody wants to be the champion, but few people really understand what that takes. And, that's something that I'm working on. That's something that I have to, really sit down and dig deep and really commit to 100%. And I'm not going to do that before I'm ready.
Best way to go right there, if you ask me. Now, a lot of people are saying that Greg Hardy is going to be a huge crowd favorite. Now, you're fighting in your backyard. Houston, San Antonio, you're not that far away. You're going to be fighting in your backyard, but a lot of people are saying that Greg is going to have the crowd in his favor. Do you feed off of that? Even though everybody's going to be rooting for him as the crowd favorite, are you able to feed off of that? And are you preparing yourself for that possibility?
I'm not. I don't think about the crowd when I go in there. The crowd is the last thing on my mind when I step into the octagon. I hear my coaches. Obviously you're going to hear some of the input from the crowd, but that's not something that concerns me. I hear the noise, but as soon as the cage door is locked, all I'm focused on is what's in there. In my mental preparation, at no point am I ever thinking, what if the crowd's booing me? What if they're cheering for me? To me, noise is noise. It's all a distraction.
That's great that you're able to block out the noise. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Now, what's your message to Greg Hardy? You don't have to hold back. You don't even have to watch your language. This is your platform. Say whatever you want to say to him. What do you got to say to Greg Hardy before you meet him in 2 weeks?
No, fuck you, dude. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. I've been consistent with that message. It's fuck Greg Hardy. That's all there is.
I love it. Well, I wish you the best of luck in 2 weeks on your match against Greg Hardy. And hopefully we can have you on the program either before or even after your fight. And, I do have one more question for you. For all of our sports bettors and UFC fight bettors out there, why should they pick you and bet on you in 2 weeks?
Because, no matter how you look at it, Greg Hardy's never fought anyone on my level before. He's never fought somebody that's actually going to be in there to hit him, and he's never fought someone that's not afraid of him. I'm going to win this fight, period. So that's why you should pick me. Historically speaking, it's safer to bet on me than bet against me. But, if you like wasting money, bet on Greg.
Awesome. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate you coming and joining us, and good luck in 2 weeks. If I don't get to talk to you before 2 weeks, best of luck on your fight against Greg Hardy, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, and enjoy your night tonight.